welcome to another episode of Exploring Standards. I am Jess, and I am the host of Exploring Standards, and today I'm here with Jaz Taylor, the head of client experience at Assent. So she joined Assent 8 years ago as a business admin apprentice, and which she won Apprentice of the Year. Once she completed her apprenticeship, she stayed on as office manager, and in 2019, Jaz took on the role of head of client services. Jaz, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Very good. So in today's episode, we are discussing common misconceptions about ISO certification. So we're going to jump straight right into the first question. And can you tell us a bit about your role at Assent?
Of course. So I basically manage all of our clients at the moment. So I track their projects. I make sure that everything's going smoothly and the way it should. Everyone's happy, that be consultant-wise or client-wise. I will book in dates for clients. I answer any questions if the consultant isn't available, so back office support. I do quotes, contracts, and I'll probably be the person that answers your original inquiry as well.
Fantastic. So lots going on there.
Yes.
Wonderful. So we're going to get into the what are the most common questions people ask when they come to you about ISO?
The most common questions, they are normally they based around the same thing. We've got cost, how long is it going to take, can we do the certification as well, and what input. So basically with the cost for each company and each standard, it can vary due to a company size, the complexity of the standard, because some people might go for like ISO 9001, which is the more sort of core basic standard, but then you have some more really complex standards that will obviously take longer. So some people do see ISO just as a certificate that you can buy, but it's not the case. Some clients just jump straight into the full implementation and then get the certification. But there's other routes you can take. We can do like an initial gap analysis, which is obviously then less days and less cost, sees where the company is, and then you can do the full project from there. So then you get a bit of a better idea of where the company is and the cost going forward. So if anybody ever comes to me and says, what is the cost straight away, I can't unfortunately answer it. If you let me know the staff and location number and what standard, I can give you a ballpark figure. But once we've sort of had a chat between ourselves or with the consultant, I can give you an exact figure. With how long it will take, again, another question, sort of how long is a bit of string. At a comfortable pace, we would normally say 6 to 8 months, and that's from you inquiring to certification as well. So it can be done quicker, but then obviously it puts the company at a little bit more of a rush as well. The certification bodies, they require at least 3 months before they will certify. So at a rush, maybe 4 or 5 months, but comfortably 6 to 8. The other question, which I mentioned earlier, can we do the certification and the consultancy? No, we cannot do the certification, only the consultancy side. So the gap analysis, the implementation of the standards. With the certification side, you have to have an accredited certification body to provide the certificate. So once companies such as ourselves have been in and helped you reach the standard of your choice, they will then come in and they externally audit what we internally help you put in place. So it's the same way, the external bodies will not offer what we offer. So we sort of work together, but you can't do both because of conflict of interest. And then the last question really, which a lot of people ask, is the input side of things. So how much input does the client need to give? During the implementation process, we do need to speak with certain people within the company. This is to sort of gather evidence, discuss the processes of the company. It's also good to have 1 or 2 main points of contact in the company, just so our consultants got someone to talk to on their visits, or if you do keep it remote. Since COVID, a lot of people have stayed remote, so we're happy to work that way as well. But obviously we will do as much as we physically can. We do pride ourselves on being a bit more of a hand-holding consultancy. So as long as we've got someone within the company who has knowledge of what's what on the project itself, we handle all the complicated bits, and we try and take as much of the burden away from the company as we can.
Fantastic, thank you. So what are the biggest misconceptions about ISO?
I would say one of the biggest misconceptions is it's not for a small business. A lot of people do say they're not going to get ISO because there's only a few people within the company. But ISO is suitable for any size company. We have clients who have only got 2 members of staff. I think we've even got somebody who's just a one-man band. And then we've got clients that have got hundreds of staff. So basically, having ISO, no matter what size business you are, it puts you one step ahead of your competitors. It shows you have a well-established management system and that all your processes are in place. The only other misconception that I think of, I would say ISO certified management systems means that businesses have to work different. It's not the case. We make sure that your ISO system is condensed and easy to manage. It doesn't necessarily mean that company has to work different. It just makes sure that the policies and processes that you should really have in place anyway are in place, and that the company as a whole is working to their best practices.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to be on the podcast with me today. If you did enjoy today's episode, please make sure to rate and subscribe and give us a like. Thank you very much, Jaz. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you.